Um, we are working on a couple of things. I don't have any sketch cards this week to be working on. I mean, I do have some I should be working on, but this week we will be working on our challenge that was supposed to be done. There's definitely been a slight delay, with my challenges. I do it with my friend Michael Boyd, and we were talking, and it is his anniversary. So happy anniversary to Mike and Hillary. Um, but other than that, it's one of those things where it's like, well, might as well save something for today, and we have. So we with Octo, we are doing an octopus theme. So I have my challenge was to do this guy. Maybe I should start with the one. Anyway, this is a character from a toy series when I was a child called Battle Beasts, and you got to like get these guys and then have them this little sticker on the front of their chest. You got to rub it and see which one it is. It was like rock paper scissors basically. Um, water beats fire, fire beats wood, wood beats water. So, and you pretty much kind of knew who was what, but interesting fact is that this is somewhat connected to Transformers. It's weird. I don't know how they were able to kind of bridge that, but they sort of made some sort of connecting story. But tonight we're going to be doing this, and then I'll probably fill in Kevin Smith's little bat symbol that I've been kind of sitting on my hands about, and then I'm going to call that finished for him. Except for the painting. There's a painting I need to fill up with a drawing of something. So I don't know. But let's get to it. Brand spanking new pins. So I always get nervous because I never know how they're going to really act. So that, and also I did not stretch. I didn't practice sketch. So my hand's going to be a little shaky for a minute. I'm not going to feel too confident with some of these. So with some of the other spots on here, I'll probably do the things that are not going to be as things I want to be as perfect. So but back to the original story of our challenge, this Battle Beast. When they were making all sorts of changes to Transformers and stuff like that, they talk about Galvatron doing something to another planet where there's these, beasts. He gives them the ability to utilize a matrix, and that they're able to then create these like bodies so that they could walk around and do things more than what they are. It's just kind of weird. I feel like my source was not as resourceful as, or not as, it's just hard to believe. But I mean, they were both Hasbro products, and they were probably just like, man, we've got to get something connecting to this. And there was no like real, I don't know, there was just a toy line. I think this was during the time like toy lines were not as prevalent. I mean, there's definitely toys out there, but it was just they weren't doing these cartoon shows and stuff as much. So, yeah, this is our challenge. So And I originally wasn't going to ink it. I was going to leave it as a pencil drawing, but I didn't have other things to do, so this is what we're going to do. And I could always do this on a card or something else, but this, like, I really wanted it to be. I mean, I was doing this during the week when I had some like downtime, or I was working and didn't have. I had to wait. Sometimes at my day job, I have to sit and wait for stuff, and that's kind of where the concept drawing of this guy came from. And then when I did it on this in my sketchbook, it made things a lot easier. So I definitely didn't want to try to put it in a sketch card because I only have 4. I have 4 left. And I'm reserving those for this show until I could get my new sketch cards. So once those sketch cards are here, then the backwards on those 4 will disappear. Those will go to, I'll draw something on them and go from there. So just wanted to check something real quick. Sweet. There I am. So but yeah, I had a couple of these guys because I thought some of the characters were really cool looking. Some of them I really did not like. I like the ones that looked a little more menacing. I like there was a shark. And the only downside to the shark, he was pink. It was like a white shark or a white fish. And he had really cool fins, spikes, super pink, pink and purple. I was not a fan of it. So, but I always thought he was kind of cool. But did not have the octopus guy. I wish I could remember the other ones. There was like I think a giraffe, and there was a stag, and a couple of others. So the toys were okay. I just was not a huge fan of all of them. So but yeah. Man. Try not to rotate this so much. This sketchbook is the most awkward one I've ever had. It's doesn't it's not a normal setup. Kind of stinks. But yeah. But yeah, once I get this all sketched out or inked up, definitely I'll move on to the Batman cover. So. Ooh. Thank you, Hero, for following. Oh. I don't know if any of you guys have been watching the action at the New York Comic Con. It has definitely been a little busy over there. Lots of crazy amount of different artists, artwork, and stuff like that going on. And then a couple of announcements. DC announced that they're not going to be supporting any type of AI art, which is fantastic. So, which is cool. I mean, there's plenty of artists out there that they could hire that they wouldn't have to worry about that type of stuff, you know. But yeah, there was that. I haven't seen a whole lot other announcements because it's not San Diego, you know. It's not as big that way. But when it comes to being a collector and stuff like that, there's collector boxes and boxes and stuff. I know there was a Bill Sinkovich collector's box you could buy, so you could possibly get like the Transformer issue 1 that he did cover for, and definitely one of the weirdest covers I thought as a kid, and as an adult I love. But that thing's, I don't know, graded, looked wonderful. So, hey folks, how's it going? Just doing a little doodling, taking some commissions. Let's get here. But here we go. Cool octopus guy. This is going fairly well. Hope you guys are having a good evening, or whatever the time zone is for you guys. It's evening for me here in Indiana, so. But I hope you all are doing good, man. All right. All right. All right. Ah, oopsie poopsie. Sorry about that. This thing is definitely getting a little away from me, but it's all right. Um, all right. Hmm. All right. Turn this. All right. While I'm here, so okay. Yep. Hmm. Sweet. So definitely, again, thanks for everybody showing up. If you want, you can look. I have a commission list for a couple of different things. If you want to see what those sketch cards look like blank currently, I could definitely grab one real quick and then show you. Is that what I was just using? I was. Okay. That's funny. Where is... There we go. It's fine. Let's see. Put that over there. Okay. I'm just going to finish this tentacle. They're originals. Well, okay. Let me grab them real quick. What they are is blank sketch cards that were sent to me with those like the 80s and 90s on it. There they are. Okay. And then after and then I draw on them, and then hopefully it would be something connected to that design. So like there's the 90s, so it comes like that. There's that on the back. And then the totally 80s, they'll come out like this. So those are printed on there with that blank section. And then with the back. And I do have an example of what they look like normally when I get done with them. So I thought, there's one. Here is one of the very first ones I did, which is of Bebop. No, Rocksteady, my fault. Let me grab a newer one. And then some of these are already claimed, but we have Goof Troop. This is a recent one I did for a friend of mine, as well as like Darkwing Duck. So I try to really like connect the drawings to, that time. I drew the slime pit from He-Man because that was one of my favorite things of all time. Like Dick Tracy from the 90s. And then Really Strange Beetlejuice. So yeah. So I could definitely do all sorts. Just realizing with the 90s ones, I could do like Marvel characters or Marvel animations and stuff like that on them. I just don't think about it until afterwards. Last week I worked on this Ghost Rider, which looks very much like the old school cartoon from the 90s. So that would work really cool with this. Or like any Nicktoon, or it could be anything. So yeah, that's what those look like before I get to them. And then after I get to them. And then with the other stuff that I have, that's also a limited stock right now until I get my own my own new backer done, which I do have. So I tried to do a test print because I thought something was off when I was designing it. It should not be this big. And then I don't know if I could, you know, see if I could do this without wrecking everything. So this is what the new backer or the back part will be for the cards. It's supposed to be reference to the old school 91 Marvel cards. Like this one. So, like Spider-Man, he's got a little profile, a little saying of who he is. This is the Spider-Man card. But I wanted to make it somewhat reminiscent of this kind of feeling. So that's why I made it the way it was, the way it is. But I don't have any of those made yet because there's a couple of goofs on there I need to fix. But what I do have is the get this open. Yep, these last four that are just completely blank, but on the back they are the 2024 series ones that I'm just now running out of. So, like I said, only four. But let's get back to what I'm doing. Oop. Okay. I always find it fun also. Each time I run lower on those my own personal sketch cards, I get excited because then it's like, what do I want to do next for the back to make them unique and special? So, okay. Nope. So, yep, that was good. Um, All right. Hmm. All right. So I think I'm about pretty much done with inking the octopus guy, at least for the moment. Um, so I think that's where we're at with him. Because where did I just put those at? Yeah, it's just weird. So I lost my whole stock of cards that were just right here. Okay, well, find them another time. All right, so we'll let this sit and dry. Give it a little bit of time, and then yeah. Yeah, that'll work. So and then that should be good for getting the biggest size, so we could just get them all colored in. blocked out. This is not filling in as best as I thought it would. That's okay. So yeah. I gotta move things just a little. So yeah, you know, little Kevin Smith Batman action. Blank sketch cover. Yeah. So I might have to, still clean up a couple of things, but give me 1 minute. I gotta do something. So, yeah. I think I just need to clean up a couple of edges for this. At least I would like the edges to be a little more clean, a little more fluid, but so probably can't see. I'm over here trying to make the fingers a little bit better. Um, so but it's going to be nice to have this done because this is my own personal project for myself. Very excited. because rarely do I do something for myself. Get out of my way, computer. Like I have a couple of sketch cards that I keep for myself. Either I've made it for my wife or I've rarely made it for myself. But this this I just had this idea of, I really wanted a Kevin Smith Batman cover. So um so yeah, pretty happy with it. So yeah. You're stuck. Because that's as far as you go. Sorry about that. But anyway, so yeah, the Kevin Smith cover for Batman. And then I'm going to read it because my friend really, really wants me to know kind of what's going on with this story. Beautiful artwork in it. If you don't know, it's the new series for Batman. So yeah, pretty cool series. So far that I've heard. Artwork is just hard to beat in it, man. But if you want to do a Mallrats reference or something here, or something, I don't know. If you guys could think of something, that would be cool. The other option was thinking of doing Adam West in that picture there, because I wanted this to somewhat, look a little bit like the old Adam West Batman. Was it Adam West 66 or whatever, or the 69 series, with a bunch of books in the background and the family portrait. So I don't know, just I don't know. Tell me what would look cool. That'd be neat. But for right now, I'll leave it as is. So I think every time if I take a break, I see something else I could just add just a little to, always wanted to add something else or make sure like the shirt goes off the shirt's going off the page or something. So yeah. Yeah, sure. Um, I'm still searching for my. Oh, it's right behind me. My box of sketch cards. Okay. So let's get this set up so it's a little bit better. I don't know about you guys. I have to have my stuff propped a little bit to feel like I'm drawing properly. In school, we always had to have our sketchboard and stuff, or our drawing board up. So I never like it whenever I don't have it set up right. So there we go. Pencil. Um, so absolutely, let's think of a couple 90s things, that would be cool. Um, because definitely we need to get more of these other ones done. I have a good section of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I do have more than 7. I have 9. But oh, yep. And that was just in case I oversold. But yeah, 4, 5, 6. So I have 2 to play with. And then same with the 80s. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, ha ha ha. 80s I have 2. Yep, 2 extra, and then 90s 2 extra. So, alrighty. So, let's see if I can find a better picture. At least that would be here. We don't. So, okay. So yeah, sorry about this long delay. Does he have like one single nose piece? Nope, he has 2, doesn't he? Yep. So, It has 3 points. They're almost like fingers. And let's see if I can get another close up of that bow tie. Yeah, he does have eyes. Get little pointy eyes. Hmm. That would probably be helpful. Such a silly goose. So, I mean, this is what he looks like so far. Which, this is close. This is the best example. Look at this guy. Goofy. But I like it when he's got these little. And then he's got this. Then he has pin strips down his suit. Imagine this is a little. Yeah. Here we go. So very rarely do I draw Jack Skellington. I think the fandom has kind of gotten me a little. I get a little over it, really. But I mean, this is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. So I didn't think I'd like it when I was a kid when it came out. I thought it looked cool. It was just like, I don't know, man. Because one of my big things is I am not a fan of musicals. Definitely lots of music in it, but it just is so unique. You know, Is it down my shirt? Okay. So, yeah. I think for just a small little portrait, that'll work. I like it. We'll see. Maybe I should bring this in. So, yeah. You gotta. I might. Around that. There we go. Okay. Let's get this going. Let's do that so it's a harder surface. All right. Hmm. Since I didn't plan this, I don't know. Shoot, I did not. I don't know. If anything, I could always come back later and then do some white pinstriping with the white pen. I've got white gel pen. And what I could also do is just start from this bottom. Yep. Do that. All right. Oh. Hmm. All right. Okay. Okay. So I feel definitely a lot better with how that looks and how it turned out. Might end up just making sure. There we go. Cool. I like that. I think that works. I think what's going to end up happening is me having to do a lot of different coloring for it. But I'm going to be honest, I am a little sore sitting. So, you know, being hunched over all this time and stuff. I've had a long day, but this was pretty cool. I got two things almost completely finished. You know, my squid guy, and then my Kevin Smith drawing. So I definitely appreciate everybody that's shown up, and uh, I've had a good time. But we will see you guys next time. Thank you. Good night.